Article 2552 of the Constitution makes you the chairman of the Regional Coordinating Council. If confirmed, you will also be chairing RECSEC, the Regional Security Council. I hold in my hands the report of the Commission of Inquiry into the Ayawaso West Wagon event. The last time you served within the security architecture of our country as Deputy Minister at Interior and later at National Security, the eminent commissioners, Mr. Justice Emil Short, who chaired, Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu, member, Mr. Patrick Quartey, a champion member, of course, Mr. Kofi Abochi was the secretary. At page 53 of the report, it doesn't appear that the architecture you were part of covered itself in glory, if I quote the permission of the chairman. The evidence given before the commission presents a confused and unsettling picture relative to the structure and systems put in place for the provision of a state of national security for Ghana. In the main, the top officers whose schedules border on national security and who testified before the commission appeared at best unsure of the boundaries of their work and authority and the coordinating roles of their institutions relative to other allied agencies, not to speak of reforms in an evolving, delicate establishment. From the totality of the evidence given, the Commission finds that the confusion may partly stem from the lack of clear demarcations of authority and responsibility, as well as a delineation of mandate subsistent between the Ministry of National Security and the Ministry of Interior. In this sensitive aspect of national life, confusion and overlapping can only be detrimental to the interests of the state, unquote. Not a great verdict. Have you learned any lessons, and how do you assure us that, if confirmed, and you become chairman of the Regional Security Council, things will be done differently to improve security in the region?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, when the incident happened, the President condemned it in no uncertain terms, and then indeed set up a commission of inquiry who has since submitted their report to the Presidency, and for that matter, a white paper to that effect has also come out, I think portions of which my colleague has just read. With the position of Mr. President, clearly, he is not in favor at all of political violence and all that. And that is why the Vigilantism Act was hurriedly prepared, approved, and brought to Parliament, which has been passed. When given the nod as a regional security chairman, I will ensure that the act in itself, Vigilantism Act, we enforce it. And never should it be told in the history of our politics that elections will be characterized with that level of violence. Talking about AWW, that is not the only one. As a chairman, you would agree with me that if you want to catalog them, by-elections in this country has always ended, has always not ended well. And by this Vigilantism Act, we all have to work together to, once again, going back to the earlier question that I was asked, as politicians, as leaders in our various constituencies and communities, let us begin to educate our followers that it's about ideas and it's not about fighting. So yes, when I'm giving the nod as a RECSEC chairman, we will do our best, and I will lead that cause by the grace of God to ensure that the Vigilantism Act indeed prevails in this region.
Mr. Chairman, I'm more concerned about your experiences and what you have learned following that experience from Ayawaso West Wagon by-election, which turned out violent, the recommendations that the Short Commission made. Any personal perspectives, experiences that will put you in better stead when you become chairman of the Regional Security Council?
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman. That's why I said experiences and recommendations, taking cognizance of government's position as well on the response through the white paper. But then, as you said, with my experience, Red Sec Chair, indeed, repeating myself, the Vigilantism Act is there to guide us to ensure that such things do not repeat itself.